We are live Sunday, January 13th, 2008. The last show, if you were just watching, public access, was not live. This one's live, unless you're watching the rebroadcast of this or watching via Google Video, and then it's not live, but we'll sort it out. Today's Sunday, January 13th, 2008. We're on the air from 3 to 4:30 p.m. Central. This, as I said, is a live public access television program sponsored by the Atheist Community of Austin, a nonprofit educational organization promoting positive atheism and the separation of church and state. The ACA has weekly meetings every Sunday, beginning at 11:30 at Romeo's on Barton Springs Road, except for the first Sunday of the month when we host a lecture series at the Austin History Center located at the corner of 9th and Guadalupe. Today was the regular Sunday meeting. It was supposed to be a board meeting as well, but I sent out a notice late canceling it because we had a lot of other events going on this weekend, including a wedding. So, in addition to this program, the ACA also sponsors a bi-weekly internet audio podcast called The Nonprofits. That's PROPHETS. For more information about the nonprofits, you can go to nonprofitsradio.com. We will be live this coming Saturday. We're live every other Saturday from 2 to 3:30-ish Central. You can get more information about how to connect to the program and participate in the IRC chat service that we provide along with it. I don't know for sure for the people who've been curious, because Dennis is hosting it, I'm co-hosting, Schilling's been joining us, but Jeff and Russell have kind of halfway pledged to attend more often in the 2008 season.
Oh, okay.
Which I'll have to find out for sure if either of them will be down there this coming Saturday, but stay tuned for that. We'll have more information about that later in the week at the website. The audio portion of this program is available as a podcast, much the same way as the Nonprofits is. And the video portion is available for download and viewing at googlevideo.com. For more information, you can go to atheist-experience.com. Click on the archive. There are a number of links there in the archive to past shows. I think we've got almost every show that we have video for has been uploaded now. So you'll get to see some of the past hosts. One of them is joining me today, Ashley Perrien.
Yes, thank you.
And Russell's on there, Jeff. I think there's some programs back from Martin, and I don't know. And we talked a little bit about it during the 10th anniversary show. So there's lots of old stuff on there and some new stuff, and we're now viewable worldwide.
Yes, and I'm still on the email list, the TV at atheist-community.org, and it's interesting to see all the letters that come in. I think we just got one from Greece a couple days ago, Australia, Europe, Canada.
Yeah, it's great.
Pretty much every continent.
Yeah, I actually responded to the Greece one because during my time in the Navy, I spent some time in Greece, and I absolutely loved it. So if I ever decide to leave the United States, Greece is on the short list of places that I'd like to go. How can you not like hanging out in the Med?
Yeah. Now we just need something from Antarctica to complete the list, and if anybody in Antarctica happens to be watching, you're all scientists. We know that you at least somewhat agree. Go ahead and write us. We could use that. Awesome. We could use that expansion of the list here.
I don't have a full map of every continent that's actually written in so far, but it'd be cool to work it out. I did put a map up for that purpose, but haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, comments, feedback, concerns, you can email tv at atheist-community.org. That goes to myself, the co-host, some of the people behind the scenes. You can also visit the ACA's website, www.atheist-community.org, for more information about everything that the ACA is doing and involved in. In addition to this program, the Nonprofits program, and the lecture series, the ACA also hosts a number of social events throughout the week, including Atheist Happy Hour every Thursday at the Dog and Duck Pub located at the corner of 17th and Guadalupe. That begins around 7 o'clock and continues until everybody disperses. Sometimes I think it's been really late on a few occasions.
Okay.
We spent a great deal of time at the Dog and Duck this past week because we had Thursday Happy Hour. Then we had kind of a bachelor party there Friday.
Okay.
So it was a lot of fun. After this program's over, everybody involved in the show gets together and goes to dinner. And we're currently going to El Arroyo on 5th Street. The address is up on your screen. We're on until 4:30. We'll probably be at El Arroyo around 5 p.m., and that'll continue. I guess, normally we used to try to shoot for the 5 to 7 p.m. time slot, but I think people will hang around longer or shorter depending on what kind of participation we get.
Yeah.
As always, all of our events are open to the public. Any atheist or atheist-friendly person is welcome to join us for almost anything we do. But if you're coming down to preach, proselytize, or provoke, please don't. We'll have a telephone number up for you shortly. You can call in and explain to us not only what you believe and why, but why you think somebody else should share your beliefs as well. If you're, I suppose if your view is that your beliefs are entirely personal and they're not justifiable to anybody else, I guess that's fine for you. I prefer to deal with reality that's, kind of based on a shared understanding.
Yeah.
Where something is real and defined as real by the fact that other people can confirm it as well. So for ACA members, as always, a quick note that if you'd like to submit contributions to the newsletter, please do so. You can email editor@atheist-community.org, and that'll go to myself, Don, and Tracy. And I don't know that I have, I do have actually kind of two specialish announcements that aren't really related to the ACA, and I don't have all of the required information. The Texas Citizens for Science are putting on kind of a symposium Wednesday.
Okay.
You can go to texscience.org. It's TEXSCIENCE.org, and there's more information up there if you're in the Austin area. They're going to be talking about the recent attacks on science education in Texas and where this is coming from, and is there a reason to be concerned, and what we can expect, both with regard to the recent firing of Chris Comer, who will be there, and also the Institute for Creation Research in Dallas has either recently been approved or is probably going to be approved to grant master's degrees in creation studies.
Oh, it was a master? I heard they were calling it a degree.
No, it's a master's degree. It's a It's a secondary education or post-secondary education, and they've changed the name, and it's going to be creation studies.
Okay.
And they're going to also be teaching evolution in this as well.
Yeah, but I heard that in this school you can only get accepted to the school if you have to sign this agreement that Jesus is your Lord and Savior. The earth was created 6,000 years ago in 6 literal 24-hour days.
And gays will burn forever.
Exactly. And yes, well, it's some behaviors that are banned.
Yeah.
Any homosexual behavior is banned and things like that. I can't remember. But yeah, it's kind of like you have to sign the statement saying, I think everything about evolution is wrong, but I'm going to have to learn it anyway.
Yeah, to me, and I'm planning on attending this event on Wednesday. There's more information at their website. I think it's around 7 o'clock at Amangia. But
okay.
To me, what the Institute for Creation Research is doing is not that different from what Answers in Genesis or Discovery Institute are doing. Basically, they can't get any peer-reviewed papers done. So what do? They go out and create their own peer-reviewed journals.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about peer review is you can call it peer review, but it's not, by just slapping the peer review label on there and having it reviewed by your peers doesn't mean that anybody's going to take it seriously.
Yeah.
The thing about peer-reviewed papers is that they're distributed among the experts in the fields. The review is only as good as the peers you choose. So if a bunch of young Earth creationists
But of course they're going to present it as in we did give this to all the experts who actually know about creation science and are well versed in it.
Yes.
And so we have distributed to all of those knowledgeable people, and they all agree with us 100%.
Yeah, and I'm sure that the National Association of Psychics and Astrologers will come out with their peer-reviewed journal where other psychic and astrologer nut jobs will confirm. Oh yeah, I agree with her I don't know, forecast for your future. But the other kind of
peer-reviewed forecasts and predictions for the next year.
You'd think, even though it wouldn't do anything to demonstrate that astrology is anything more than nonsense, what it may do is help create kind of a more unified method of predicting. Because basically these guys just go out and make stuff up.
Yeah.
And the more vague and general it can be, the better off they are, because then it looks like
the less likely you can refute it.
But you could pick up 2 newspapers from the same town if you carry a couple, and they both, I don't know why newspapers still carry an astrology section.
I know, your horoscope and everything. Yeah.
And they'll be completely different, but they'll both fit. How is that?
Yeah.
You just have to think about it for just a minute or so, and I think you'll realize that, yes, it could apply to anybody.
And I was like, I still see those experiments once a year, so I see them that come up on different shows where they go into a college class, something like that, and they give everyone their personalized astrological reading. And it's like a 3 or 4 page document.
I can't believe
of their personality and their family and their history and everything about them. And they read it, and half of them are like in tears saying, they know me so well.
Yeah.
And then they get up and they trade them all around, find out everybody's got the same one.
Definitely.
So,
And the other, the other special announcement is just kind of something that I was personally interested in and maybe attending tonight. I noticed an article in the Statesman about a former creationist who's now an evangelist for evolution, and specifically, he has accepted evolution and has found a way of reconciling evolution and his belief in a God, in particular, the Jesus God thing.
okay.
But he's going to be speaking tonight, I think at 7 o'clock, at the Unitarian Universalist Church on Grover.
Okay.
So I'm probably going to go down and attend that because I'm always curious. I mean, I didn't become an atheist just because of evolution. Evolution and atheism aren't in any way tied together. And I understand, and I've met quite a few believers who also accept evolution as well. And I've never really had anybody give me a good explanation of how these two mesh, how there's not a contradiction. And the best I've ever heard is, well, basically you chuck out all that religious stuff that has to do with origins and you accept evolution, and then you stick God in everywhere where evolution doesn't, explain something. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So really what you're saying is in the areas that we don't have a good answer, you're just going to plug God in.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Well, it's one of these things that many people don't really look at in depth, and I hadn't looked at it either for a long time. Most people would treat it as two completely separate things. I believe in Jesus and God, and He rescued our souls and everything else. And then I also believe that, we come from previous ancestors and evolution and everything. That's where we got. And they just don't think, okay, these are actually in the same timeline. They have to occur at the same time. And if we did evolve from previous, versions and earlier ancestors, then we don't need to be saved. There's nothing wrong with
original sin. If
exactly. There's no original sin or anything like that. So there can be no need to have Jesus or anything like that. So at least how it's portrayed in the Bible. So they don't mesh. So
yeah, and I even have one kind of Evo theologist try and claim that the fact that science is referred to mitochondrial Eve,
yes,
supports their idea of Adam and Eve. No. This was the dumbest labeling move ever, I guess, in the history of science. They try to be nice and they try to create this metaphor.
Yeah.
That they hope will help explain things to people who don't have much understanding of evolution. So they call her mitochondrial Eve. This was no one woman who was the first woman. That dog don't hunt. So you got
yes, I've got
various news bits.
A small handful of stories here. If we want to go ahead and put the number up, we definitely can do that.
Sure.
And also, as we were saying just a few minutes ago about, again, evolution and Jesus and stuff like that, if anyone out there can link these two together and say why we would need Jesus, even though there was no original sin, or is that a bad
or maybe
statement? Was there original sin, but we still evolved, or who knows? One of the monkeys did something off limits.
Evolution occurred, but God came down and tinkered with monkeys at some point and turned them into humans, and then they sinned, and then that was okay, whatever.
Yeah,
but yeah,
kind of contrived.
Yeah, the more you have to kind of revisit and rationalize your story every time we come up with some new understanding about reality, the less reasonable your story sounds.
Yeah.
You can tap dance all you want, but these are issues that I actually find interesting. So as a reminder, if you can see the number, we're probably live because you normally would put like pre-recorded right here over the number. But it is Sunday, January 13th, 2008.
Yes.
And you're free to call in to talk about the topic we were just discussing.
Anything at all.
Any of
Any
Ashley's news articles or anything you'd like. Particularly, as I pointed out in several weeks in the past, I'm interested not only in what you believe and why, but why you think anybody else should believe it as well.
Yeah.
Or if you don't. Maybe you're one of the people who thinks that all of this is private and not up for discussion, shouldn't be. Well,
in which case, we need to discuss that.
Yes, we need to discuss that with you.
All right.
So we can call you a hypocrite. Aha, gotcha.